Words cannot describe my love-hate relationship with Overwatch. I've referenced this a couple of times, but when my mom passed away, I just got obsessed with Overwatch. I found out about Overwatch a couple weeks before she not. I want to say the summer she passed away. But when she passed away, I just became a shut-in and just played a shit ton of Overwatch. And Overwatch 1, I have so many good memories playing that game. Unfortunately, it is a shell of what it used to be. And this tomfoolery about Blizzard and them not doing PvE, which is the whole reason we got fucking Overwatch 2, like, it's insane. But let's let the Actman talk, and of course, I'll give my opinions and say whatever comes to my empty husk of a mind.
Buddy. This is the Actman here, and today is the day. That's right. We have finally gotten a long-awaited update on Overwatch 2's PvE mode. Now, this was the most highly anticipated feature of Overwatch 2 that unfortunately had to be delayed. What we saw back in 2019 blew our balls off. Not only would Overwatch finally be getting some story
2019, man, it's been 4 years. That's crazy.
Driven content, but also a separate progression system and a talent tree for every single hero. There was so much creativity behind some of these new abilities, like Mei turning into a snowball or Soldier 76 being able to move with his healing field. And on top of this, Blizzard was boasting that they were making hundreds of missions, endless replayability provided at the top tier level.
People don't understand that this would be the game of the decade, maybe even the century, if they followed through with this.
Of quality that Blizzard used to be known for. This was their comeback story. The release of Overwatch 2 was very underwhelming. I called it the laziest sequel ever. But now that Blizzard is done wiping their ass with the millions of Benjamin Franklin bills they earned from Diablo Immortal microtransactions, it's finally here. An update on Overwatch 2's PvE mode. Overwatch 2's PvE hero mode is being scrapped. Our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck.
What happened?
For real.
Where's the fucking game? Well, there's no game here. What happened? Did the programmers pass out?
This pretty much confirms to me that the only reason Overwatch 2 was released at all was to change the business model, get rid of loot boxes, add in a shitty battle pass, and sell cosmetics for $20.
For real. And what makes me even angrier is that they fed us this facade of, hey, so we were working on PvE, so you only get 3 new heroes and 2 new maps, even though we have a new game mode, like, or maybe 3 new maps, 3 new heroes, 3 new maps. So we got shafted in content under the lie that they were making PvE. And I also read, I don't know if this is correct, so don't quote me on this. I also read that they came to that decision like a year and a half ago. So we got shafted basically since the creation of Overwatch 2. And the fact that every patch that comes out, something is fucked, you know? And it's frustrating. Like, the game that I loved and spent so much time on and was there with me in my darkest moments of my life is just, it's gone, you know?
Beyond that, I can only imagine. Overwatch 2 launched with 3 new heroes, but they had to take 2 pre-existing heroes out because of new bugs that were introduced. At launch, players noticed that several classic maps had been removed for seemingly no reason.
Oh, I forgot about this because the game was unfinished. They hadn't finished fixing the maps, so they gave us fucking map pulls. That was awful. As someone who almost exclusively plays Overwatch, I wouldn't say exclusively, but I play it most of the time. That was just awful. Like, the maps got stale 2 days into competitive because I've already played. I've been playing the same maps for 4 years.
Only to be added back later. Why was Overwatch 2 not launching with a PvE mode? Why was it taking out pre-existing content that had no issues? The only thing that made Overwatch 2 worthy of being called Overwatch 2 was the upcoming PvE mode, which was delayed and is now completely canceled. So what the hell was the point? What was the point in any of this?
We are shifting our plan for Overwatch 2 to enable you
I don't like this guy. There's something about this guy I don't like. I think he just comes off as not genuine.
to play it sooner. This starts with us decoupling
Never
the
have
PvP
liked him.
features of the game from the PvE systems so we can bring you PvP sooner.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Thank you.
Why? Why do you want to get the game into my hands sooner? Can you maybe put a better game in my hands at a later date when
For
it's
real.
ready?
Thank you.
This is what
Thank
I don't
you,
get. Why
Actman.
was there a rush to release the PvP content?
There was a rush because Overwatch 1 was dead, and I mean dead. Like, it could took me 10 minutes as a support to find games. And I can only imagine the people that were higher up, like in Masters and Grandmaster and Top 500. Overwatch was dead, and that's why they were trying to rush it to bring people back, and they rushed it too quick, and the game is dying once again.
You only added 3 new heroes, and all the other changes...
I should say, like, right now, it takes me, I'd say about 2 minutes on average to find a game. When the game first came out, Overwatch 2, when Overwatch 2 first came out, it took me 10 seconds, 15 seconds to find a game, and now it's 2 minutes. It's only getting worse, and the holy crap, the PR stunt between Overwatch 2 and Blizzard, like, if you go on the Overwatch subreddit, which is a cesspool, I know, they're still complaining, you know, and the game's dying, and it's a damn shame.
We're so minimal. Hell, back in 2022, Aaron Keller said, a few years ago, we made the call to focus our team's development efforts almost entirely on Overwatch 2, and as development
That's
of
cap.
the sequel stretched on, it meant that the
Keller's a
live
liar
received less
and a
focus.
fraud.
He explained this meant that the company was no longer delivering on one of its core values to support the game by updating it and delivering content on a regular
And they're still not doing it. We get a fucking patch like twice a season.
basis. So they abandoned Overwatch 1 to work on the sequel, something that they regret doing. I mean, obviously, game development is hard and all that, and sometimes...
For real. I mean, I'm getting angry, but there's a lot of stuff that goes in Overwatch, like in the development side, that I don't understand. But at the same time, every word that comes out of their mouths is a bunch of lies.
There's been a change of plans. But come on, man. What have you guys been working on this entire time? How could you advertise Overwatch 2 and make this mode one of the biggest focal points and then just abandon it? It seems real scummy. But the worst part of it is, this shit looked really fun. Everyone had their shit to talk about Overwatch 2 not being a sequel, but everybody was hyped for the PvE. Now, to be fair, they also announced a new roadmap, which is kind of meant to soften the blow. So,
Which the roadmap is garbage, you know? We get an Overwatch, a limited time event, which is just bullshit food for PvE, a cinematic reveal. I don't watch any of the cinematics. That shit's never interested me. Summer games, that shit's never interested me. I am curious to see how much money the dances are going to cost, because I have the dances for every character except the new ones. Story missions, that's bullshit. We should have had story missions in PvE, which is what everybody wants. We had a new support hero. By the way, another reason why, you know, Overwatch is dying is because the newest hero that came out like a month ago, 2 months ago, that character has the lowest win rate in the game. That's the first time since I've been playing Overwatch that's ever happened. Usually the newest hero is overpowered and everybody wants to play it. If you pick Lifeweaver, you've got a 25% chance of losing. That is insane, bro.
it looks like there's going to be a ton of new content. So at the very least, PvE is dying so that PvP can continue to thrive.
But PvP is not thriving. That's the issue. Overwatch is dying as a whole.
So let's talk about Overwatch 2 and the continued decline of Blizzard, because some of the reasons why they canceled this mode are quite interesting. Obviously, this is a huge blow, and they say they're still working on hero and story missions, which is, you know, it's going to be something. I don't expect it to be all that great, to be honest. You know, they're working on story content, stuff that people have been asking for since the game came out in like 2016. There's a guy named Sir Swag, who is a pretty credible source, and he talked to an anonymous Blizzard employee about why the mode was canceled.
In what might be the most unsurprising thing in the entire world, the very first thing he said was that the cancellation was, quote, a 1000% upper management executive issue. In the words of this employee, the decision to scrap the PvE was very much a decision motivated by Blizzard's profit margins.
You don't say. You don't say. You don't say!
And that the success of Diablo on mobile, reportedly making over $2 million a day, shifted the expectations of the higher-ups at the company. To the suits...
So this is... You Diablo players are the reason why we can't enjoy good games anymore. Fuck you guys.
Overwatch 2's PvE mode wasn't going to keep generating money in the long term, and had become increasingly more irrelevant next to a live service business model.
Did I call this or what? Live service has become the biggest killer of creativity in the industry.
He's right. There's, what, 2 good live service games? And that's Apex, and Apex has got its own problems. Apex and Fortnite. I can't think of any other good. Destiny? I mean, if you talk to people that play Destiny a lot, they fucking hate it. But Destiny's been around for a long time, so they've got a pretty big player base. But there are not very good live service games. Like, any new live service game that comes out is just dead in a year, you know?
By far. Game development seems to have shifted towards being results driven as opposed to fun-driven. I called this out in my video on live service games and why it's a graveyard for creativity, why live service business models throttle creativity, because every decision is now made with make more money, make the most amount of money.
We get to really take the gloves off and do crazy things like Junkrat can dual-wield grenade launchers, and we've had Mercy be able to area effect res their whole team at once at super long range through walls. It's been a ton of fun, kind of like mad scientists making all this stuff.
Yeah, well, not anymore, you're not.
If this is to be believed, yes, the reason the mode was canceled, money, because they saw how much money Diablo Immortal was making, and they were continuing to pour resources and development time into this mode that probably would have kicked some serious ass, but money, but you need more money.
Where's the money? You like that? That feel good?
Even if Overwatch 2 didn't make $2 million a day, don't you think this big-ass PvE mode would draw in a bunch of players, new and old, and if they really enjoyed it, and they would spend more money on the game?
You would think, huh?
No, that's not how modern gaming works. But what do I know? All right, so I'm gonna put my headphones on, and we're gonna watch this video.
Tweeting about a roadmap, saying it's coming mid-May. It's been on my.
I was watching this live. I didn't have my headphones on because I was at work, but I was watching it on my monitor here, and the chat was not having it. That shit was crazy.
Timeline a lot.
I do have an update. We're going to run through the roadmap today. We're going to talk about what's coming in future seasons. We're going to talk a bit about PvE.
This is the reason why they have the roadmap. It also coupled with this announcement that they're cutting PvE is specifically to soften the blow. In case you were wondering, it's a
But the roadmap
PR
doesn't.
tactic.
So we had a difficult choice to make. We could continue working
The roadmap doesn't really show much hope either. So, yeah.
on our original vision for Overwatch 2 without a definitive end date in sight, or change our strategy and get something in front of players sooner.
We could continue making the game that we fucking marketed, or we could say screw it and just put out the laziest possible product. A pretty easy choice for old Blizzard.
We chose the latter, and we released Overwatch 2 last October with new heroes, new maps, new modes, and regular seasonal
He says modes plural. There was one new mode.
updates.
And also new glitches. A great new feature that removed Bastion and Mei from the game for, what, like a fucking month?
Even as recently as Sigma, I believe, this month, he got removed.
For 3 weeks?
But more than that, we shifted our values for how we want to develop the game.
You sure did shift your values by starting to charge people, what, 20 bucks for skins? Charging them like 4 times what the skin was previously worth in the original?
Which is, I'm not a big streamer, obviously, but I have people come into my people come into my stream and they say, wow, you must be rich. How many skins do you have? And I'm like, I got these skins for free, man. Like, I played Overwatch 1. All I had to do was play the game, and I got these skins for free. And it's so depressing just how greed destroys what we love, you know? Like, all I had to do was play Overwatch, and I got the skins. Don't get me wrong. There were some situations where you had to pay for it if you didn't play enough, or you didn't get the skin you wanted because it was all RNG based. Eventually, sometimes you had to pay for it, but like, so I didn't care about skins. I just had to play the game, and it's sad.
Game. What was that stat about? Like, it would take you 712 years to get the amount of credits necessary to unlock all the cosmetics in the game without paying for them. It was some ridiculous stat like that. Yes, your values did shifted. You became more greedy and you became a shittier company.
Yeah.
712 years, bro. That's insane.
And I really can't say enough about how much we've learned over the past 8 months or so. And more importantly, we've taken that learning and we've put it back into the game. So as early as Season 2, I think you start seeing some updates we've made based on your feedback and based on what we've learned. We've been changing
God, that rank decay, good fucking guy. That shit was so stupid.
all of our systems. We've been adjusting.
By the way, matchmaking is still an absolute mess in Overwatch, as you've probably seen me in my streams. Like, matchmaking is a fucking clusterfuck.
Testing hero balance way more frequently.
And these are good changes, I'm not gonna lie. They have been making good changes to the PvP. I think it's been getting a lot better, and the game is still very much fun. I still enjoy it. I'd enjoy it more if there was a, big PvE mode, but that's just me.
But at the same time, development on the PvE experience really hasn't made the progress that we would have hoped. The team has created a bunch of amazing content. So, there's awesome missions that are really exciting. There's brand new enemies that are super fun to fight. and some truly great and ridiculous hero talents. But unfortunately, the effort required to pull all of that together into a Blizzard quality experience that we can ship to you is huge, and there really is no end in sight.
This is probably the most confusing thing to me out of all of this. There is no end date. The amount of effort it would take to create this mode that we advertised is massive. You're fucking Blizzard. You have 8,000 people working for your company. What do you mean? You're the company that made World of fucking Warcraft and the Diablo series, both games world renowned for their progression systems and their talent trees and their deep customization. If anybody can do this, it's you.
You would think that's where everybody was like, okay, let's fucking go, you know? But we got bamboozled.
What? What, did you just lose all your talent? Did you just stop caring? We don't have an end date in sight. Well, create one. Reel back those ambitions. You don't need hundreds of missions when the PvE mode comes out. You don't need expansive talent trees for every champion at launch. Okay? Just give us something. Would it have been too hard to give us like 20 missions and like half the roster has their talent trees all set up? Yes. That would be too much.
But unfortunately, the effort required to pull all of that together into a Blizzard quality experience.
And even just like every other season, like say we get a support hero one season, the next season we get an expansion on the PvE. Like, it's Blizzard. I feel like they can definitely be done. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of gaming or the development side, but when you're fucking Blizzard and you have, what did he say, 80,000 people working for you, I feel like it's definitely possible.
We can ship to you is huge.
I also love the statement Blizzard quality because Diablo Immortal exists. That's a Blizzard quality game, isn't it? Yes. Slot Machine Simulator. That's a Blizzard quality game. Overwatch 2 at launch was a Blizzard quality game. God damn it.
Do we continue to pour all that effort into PvE, hoping that we can land it at some point in the future? Or
yes.
Do we stick with
Yes.
with this set of values that we've aligned on and focus on the live game and focus on serving all of you?
Also, focus on the live game. This is the crux here, okay? And it kind of falls in line with what Sir Swag said. A PvE mode it's not part of the live service necessarily. At least that's what I'm gathering.
What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
Fuck, that would... Oh, man. That would have been so awesome.
That would have been game of the decade,
Because
I'm telling you
there are
guys.
so few good co-op shooter games. Like, I always go back to Left 4 Dead 2. Back 4 Blood kind of sucked ass. Redfall has sucked ass. Maybe Borderlands, I could play that. But as far as like
gaming in general, I feel like this year has taken a massive step back.
games you play with your buddies and you all like rank up and level up and continue to tackle harder challenges, like that's why I love Vermintide 2. I still need to play Darktide, but I'm just, oh god damn, this would have been so awesome for Overwatch, and I would have played
I think I have Vermintide. One of the two I have.
the shit out of this with my buddies, man. And instead, if I want to play Overwatch 2 with my buddies, I have to convince them to play the same mode in the same game that came out in like 2016. You know what I mean?
And we know that this is going to be...
My friends, I think I'm the only one out of my friend group that still plays Overwatch. They've all moved on to Apex. I don't like Apex. I don't find it fun. I don't find it interesting. Like, I do watch a couple players just at the highest level play it, and I'll watch the, is it ALGS? I'll watch that, but like, I'm not a big Apex fan.
Be disappointing to many of you.
You don't say!
Which is why we wanted to bring it up before we talked about the roadmap. And
This is why we brought it up before the roadmap, so we can we have something to soften the blow.
to be perfectly honest, it's been really difficult for many of us and a lot of folks on the team who've poured their heart and soul into that stuff.
I also feel bad for the teams that essentially are having their work erased because of corporate greed and this continuous desire to always monetize the shit out of everything and focus on only that and not so much the quality of a video game or how expansive and innovative it can be. And like I said, man, live service games is where creativity goes to die.
Amen, unless you're Fortnite.
We're planning to make co-op gameplay and co-op experiences just part of our live roadmap. So we want you to be able to experience it more often.
Just part of it. Well, this is what Overwatch has been doing the whole time. These little limited time events that people would only play for like an hour or two at most on some random weekend. It's, you know, it was fun, but we wanted a much more dedicated mode. This comes across as, yeah, we're just going to keep doing those same limited time events. hardly exciting for me.
Let's bring up that roadmap that Jared was talking about, because Jared, there is a ton coming to Overwatch 2 soon.
And again, like I said, the road
There was a ton. That is not a ton. That is just, I feel like they're doing the bare minimum every single patch.
map looks pretty expansive, and I imagine most.
And where is it? Roadhog rework and the Sombra rework. That's in season 7. What are we? Season 4? Season 3? Like, that's months and months down the line. So, like, if you're a Roadhog main or you're a Sombra main, you've been getting shafted for forever, you know? And it's just crazy. Like, why are you fixing these characters on the back burner? Like, I know there's so many other characters you could play, but like, at the same time, why is it just taking this long to fix things?
Most, if not all of this content is going to be great, except maybe the Roadhog rework. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but you know, it's the PvE mode would have done so much good for this game and for its community, and it is such a shame. You also notice how they don't apologize to the fans. It's like, oh yeah, we're cutting this feature. Yeah, it kind of sucks. We couldn't fit our vision. Anyways, look at all this other new content that we're working on.
They never did say they were sorry.
You were looking forward
those
to.
bastards.
And it's even going to come with like new story features for the game, like a lore database that players can unlock over time.
I'm gonna make a real quick prediction about the story missions. I hope I'm wrong. I imagine for each season that they launch new story missions, they're gonna have one cinematic, kind of like how Call of Duty does it. You're gonna have one cinematic, and then the missions are gonna basically play out with someone talking over a radio the whole time, telling you what to do and saying that what you're doing is great or whatever. It's gonna be very, very fucking basic. That's my prediction. Come back to this video when season 6 launches and let me know if I was right.
That's what this roadmap is about. It's about showing you all of the work that we're putting into this game.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, I don't think it is, Mr. Keller. Call me a tinfoil hat.
Going back to what he was saying about the story missions, I think all of their stuff is really bare bones. So, like, I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking here from Overwatch.
Conspiracy theorist, but I think this is just your guys' way of softening the blow for something you decided to cut because of money. Because you want to make more money, and that's it. You want to put in the least amount of effort for the biggest return on investment, and what you're showing us here is to satiate players and fans that are upset. That's just my theory. At the end of the day, I'm just a big fucking nerd like all of you. And the reason I get so upset is because I care, is because I loved Blizzard and I still love Overwatch. And you know, it doesn't seem like this is the best decision. Seems like corporate greed once again in the world of modern gaming. Let's see what Twitter has to say.
Corporate greed? I wouldn't say corporate greed, but greed in general, just infecting gaming is the worst thing to ever happen. Like, look at all the games that have come out that are fucking dog shit. Like, let's see, Redfall, obviously. Back for Blood, that died quick. I'm trying to think. Let's see. AAA releases gaming 2023. All right. Trying to find it. Wulong. That game had issues. Wild Heart. That game had issues on release. Baldur's Gate, that's coming. Diablo 4, I heard people complaining a lot about that. I don't know about issues, but in terms of monetization, I've heard people complain about that. Redfall, we already talked about that. I think Stalker's been delayed. That Gollum game, that was a mess. That was a hilarious mess that we all saw coming. Like, nobody wanted that game to come out, yet it came out anyway, and it's like, we fucking told you. So, like, gaming, corporate greed ruining gaming is just a damn shame.
They've probably been working on the 2 looking as good as possible on the logo. Porn community keeping Overwatch alive after all these years.
My back. I am so weak.
They've been working on Overwatch Immortal. Don't you guys have phones? It seems so clear to me now. This clip truly aged like fine wine. Blizzard competing with Halo Infinite in disappointment. Let's see this.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Oh my god, dude. I was fucking on fire. I called that, man. That's insane.
A good meme.
Alright, so now let's take a look at the GameSpot article and see if there's anything worth discussing. This is what's kind of crazy though. He was talking about back in 2019. It's been maybe 2.5 years since the last hero that we launched. And we don't want to be back at the point where it's another 3.5 years since launching a PvP map. It just seems like you could have done all of the work that you did on the base game of Overwatch, and that game would be in a much better state than Overwatch 2 is.
For real. And the Orisa, that rework definitely could have been put in Overwatch 2. All those tanks and added things that you did to switch from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, that could have been in the game. Know what I'm saying? And I definitely feel like 5v5 is not the move for Overwatch. I enjoyed 6v6, but it's just I don't know where they're headed, and they're not doing a good job with where they're going, you know?
Maybe that's just my theory. I don't know. We keep hearing them talk about how the scope of the hero missions was really, really large. And what I don't understand is, like, why don't you just reel that back, right? 40 to 50 talents per hero for over 35 plus heroes. You're looking at thousands of talents to make everything just to get the game out the door. I would be fine if you didn't have all of that completed when you launched the PvE mode. I think most people would, right? Why couldn't this mode also be part of the live service? You know what I mean? Oh yeah. I mean, this is a long interview. You could probably read it if you want to yourself, but I feel like at this point I'm kind of just reiterating everything I've already said before. So in conclusion, the cancellation of this long-awaited, highly anticipated PvE mode is awful. Blizzard shows no signs of stopping their continued decline as a company, and it's just one thing after another. You know, obviously this isn't worse as some of the other stunts they've pulled, but I should not have enough material to keep making these Blizzard bad videos.
For real.
Why do I have so much material? Stop giving me material. Not only is Blizzard focusing on games that people don't want, they're cutting features out that players desperately want. You know, and Overwatch is still a fun video game, and I like many of the changes, but god damn, man, this is not a sequel. It's not a sequel. That 2 means nothing. God damn it, Blizzard, please do better. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Actman for more awesome content. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Overwatch 2 in the canceled PvE mode. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Actman, signing out.
I wouldn't say Overwatch is a fun game. If you don't play Overwatch often, then I could see how it's a fun game, but for someone like me that plays it all the time, I think I'm more addicted to Overwatch than having fun. It's got a lot of faults, and that's every video game, you know. Let's read the comments here. I just want to stop complaining about Blizzard, man. I feel that. You universally hit exactly on why Blizzard can't make truly great games anymore. They lost all their talent. Genuinely enthusiastic and creative designers were smothered by middle managers and executives and left the company one by one. The people who made great games for Blizzard are either gone or so beaten down by committees and meetings they can't make the awesome stuff they once did. Yeah, that's a damn shame. For me, the words roadmap and ex-company quality and we made the difficult decision are now trigger words to immediately distrust a company and what they are trying to sell you. That is also true. And I'm glad how people are slowly coming around to the corporate bullshit they keep feeding us. I love how they said put stuff in front of the players sooner, but looking at the wording and the executives making decisions, they didn't want to say that half their own company ruined it for them. I've lost hope for that damn company. So have a lot of people. Great video. They deserve to be called out. I would also like these points to also be covered. Jeff Kaplan and other senior Overwatch devs leaving. Yes, Jeff Kaplan, Papa Kaplan, saw the writing on the wall. And whatever he's going to do now, I am genuinely looking forward to seeing what he's doing. Because everything he touches at least has some sort of love in it. And we don't really have that in gaming anymore. The 3-year gap between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 and bring only updates that should have been taken at most 1 year. The timing and decision to cancel PvE and leading players, it was just before launch. They still advertised it. You could still milk this for content. Yes, that is also true. They generally could have released each hero with hero unlocks over time when they were ready. I feel like a new character each time. It'll feel like a new character each time because of all the new moves. That is also true. I never thought I'd see the day where getting rid of loot boxes was a way of a company being even more predatory and exploitative. No, I agree. That's it's a damn shame what happens to Overwatch, man. I gotta find me something else to yell at people while I'm playing.